So I've been here about 24 hours. I drove 4 days. South Carolina, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Santa Fe, New Mexico. This is an adorable little condo. I've been unpacking. It was amazing when I first arrived. One of the people in the complex, a gentleman, he noticed I was schlepping a lot of stuff, and he was bringing in his laundry. And it turns out he had driven out from New York right when COVID hit. He'd done the 4-day drive. So he was very gracious and welcomed me. And I said, I'm renting the Airbnb on the bottom. And as I was unpacking, I gave him my number when I moved in. And I said I'd love to go for a hike. I'd love to go for coffee. Because I'd been listening to Mel Robbins' Let Them and then Let Me. And she really was sharing vulnerably about how she first moved to Vermont. She didn't know anybody. So she just made a pact that everywhere she went, she would say hi to somebody. She'd go to the coffee shop, she'd say hi. She'd go for yoga, she'd say hi. And she'd eventually got like a walking group together that's apparently still together. So this gentleman had come up to me, and so I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. So I said I'd love to go for a hike or go for coffee or something. So anyways, he texts me as I'm unpacking, and he's like, I betcha you don't have any food. Would you like to join me for dinner? I'm just making something simple. And the normal me would go, no, I'm good. A little Miss Self-Sufficient here. But when you have only eaten power bars, nuts, and coffee for and then powdered eggs at the hotels for 4 days. And I was like, yes, I would really love that. So I got fed dinner. I just felt so supported by the universe. So just went to Trader Joe's. So my fridge is all stacked. And this is a new era. I kind of can't stop crying. These emotional waves just hit me. They hit me every single day of the drive. Everything I was letting go of. And I'm reminded the power of grieving well as a gift to empty yourself out, evolve, ascend, open to what's next. And already I'm just feeling welcomed here. Met another gentleman on the stairs with his amazing cat. That was pretty cool. So good signs coming from every direction. And you're about to listen to a love story. When I first met Sam, he was actually dating Drea. And so I hadn't met Michelle yet, and I didn't know if it was going to be awkward or what have you. No, she's the coolest thing ever. She had lived in Vancouver, like me, had. We got on like a house on fire. She's just alive and radiant, and their love story and how they met and how each of them had been doing their own work. And even when they first met, it wasn't like right away. It's just a really great, it's everything we talk about here, that become the one, define the one, do your inner work, keep showing up in life. Your paths are going to collide. So enjoy this really delicious, heart-connected, practical tools and spiritual magic of this love affair of Sam and Michelle.
Welcome to Intimate Conversations, Season 13, Heart Broken Open, where intimacy is an inside job.
Welcome to another episode of Intimate Conversations, Season 13, Heart Broken Open. I'm so inspired to be in person with an absolutely new friend and a friend from 3 years. And I'm going to read their bios officially. And then we're going to get into a delicious conversation of the Spirit speak through us.
Yes.
I'm so glad we're together right now.
Yeah,
I love my life.
Thank you
good.
so much.
Okay, Michelle Hiratos.
You got it.
I got it.
You got
it. She is a feminine embodiment guide, intuitive medicine woman, and a sound and voice alchemist. She leads women into devotion to their feminine, untamed wildness and sacred intimacy through a devotional journey back to home in their heart and in their body. Michelle leads women to truth, of liberation of all parts of themselves, to radiate their most turned on and wildest expression of who they truly are. Welcome.
Thank you.
I see why
so
you married her.
much.
Yes,
That was a really yummy intro. Thank you. The way you spoke that.
oh, good.
Yes.
You can use the recording.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much.
Clip that.
And Sam Gibbs Morris is a leader in the intersection of conscious masculinity, relationships, psychedelics, yogic leadership, and spirituality. He's a speaker, spiritual teacher, psychedelic medicine and breathwork facilitator, and a men's conscious masculinity mentor and relationship coach.
Yes.
Sam has aligned his purpose with his innate gifts, creating a safe and nurturing space for men to heal and expand their capacity and conscious masculine awareness to experience a deeper connection. Sam has worked with over 2,000 men to guide them home to their core, reconnect with their self-worth, cultivate self-trust, and become an unwavering presence in their lives and in their relationships. I see why you marry him.
Yes.
And together, they have founded, okay, here we go, Aletheia.
Alethea.
Okay,
yes.
good. A Greek word meaning truth, a platform designed around devotion to truth and love, where they offer relationship coaching, breath and sound journeys, and psychedelic facilitation. Okay, I just want to have a group hug, but all the hug. Yeah.
Touching.
And I'm so literally privileged and honored. This is your first podcast.
It is my first podcast.
Holy shitters.
Being interviewed in, yes, my first. So
Wow.
thank you so much.
It is my honor. I love this medium. I've probably interviewed over 900 people.
Wow.
This is my jam.
Yeah.
And I've probably been interviewed the same amount of times.
Really? Okay.
Because there's something, we all have our superpowers. I
Yeah.
can't cook very well. I'm horrible with technology. There's a lot of
Yeah,
things I
same.
really,
Yeah.
really suck
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
But this communication and conversation is just my happy place.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that you're here.
Thank you so much for
I've-
having me. And I feel so safe already. We were just saying before, like the first person to pop my cherry in the podcast interview world. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I can feel that from you. I can feel it with internally, like this vibrancy that
Thank you.
yes. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And it's so good to meet you in person.
I know, finally. This
Right?
has been so many online conversations,
Yeah.
offline conversations, holding each other in some really tough places. Like
Yeah.
it's been just an amazing journey to walk alongside with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like instant friends.
Yeah.
Like instantly there for each other. Instant
Yep.
like dark shadows, celebration, like
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the things.
Yes, all of it. It's like
Yeah.
it's always just like to get a message from you just out of the blue. It's like, oh yeah, she's still there.
Oh.
It's such a heartwarming feeling to know that, like, and likewise, like we're just teammates. It feels like teammates.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. So I'll just like say the elephant in the living room.
Yeah.
So I met him when he was dating somebody else.
I know. I know. I'm glad you spoke to that. Yes, and I know that's someone else too. So yeah.
So how did that all so I didn't go into I knew the relationship was ending.
Yeah.
And I knew this one has begun and now marriage, the whole thing. So
Yeah.
so can I just do the whole like get me up to date? Like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
did
yeah.
it all happen? Because clearly this is absolutely divine.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Like, this
Yeah.
was like written in the stars, lifetimes together. Like all the things that you hear about are like, when you know, like all that
Yeah.
stuff that's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And when it happens, you're like, oh, okay, it's
Yeah.
a real thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this is that. And so 2023 was a big year, big transitional year.
Yeah.
A lot of things like so I did, Preston and Lexi.
Yeah.
Did one of their workshops, and it was like a moment in my life where just like a complete grenade, wrecked my business, wrecked my relationship at the time. And it was the catalyst for so much, because what I had recognized in that moment was my entire life was a framework designed to protect a little boy, a scared little boy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So everything I was doing was either for validation, safety,
Yeah.
save me from victim, like all these things. And the thing is that none of it was quote unquote terrible on the surface.
Sure.
But it felt so fragile.
Wow.
It just was like, I was like watching my back, so much people pleasing, so much just like, please like me, just like, don't mess up my little thing I got going on here.
Yeah,
And that moment in like the beginning of 2023 just wrecked everything. And so from that moment was the directional arrow I needed to, like, whoa, you're not being, like, you claim to be this divine masculine online, and you speak, and I had all the knowledge.
Sure.
I had all the books and the words and the practices, and no, it was that the throat
wasn't
chakra was
embodied.
blocked. Yeah, it was just complete block.
Because that's where the cancer was, right?
Yeah,
Throat chakra.
yeah, right here.
Yeah.
And so that was all based in shame.
Right.
And so, from that moment, I just got busy with, like, okay, it's got to drop. It's got to drop from the head to the body now. And so over the next, like, 6 months or so, 9 months, the previous relationship was like in, out, on, off, like that kind of thing.
I remember.
And then we got to Burning Man, and it was over.
Right.
Ended.
I remember.
Like on the playa.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So here I am at Burning Man. Relationship just ended, and I have a week here. And so, it was painful. Yeah. But at the same time, it allowed me to have an experience, because my intention for Burning Man that year was, show me the deepest level of self-trust I've ever known. And that relationship was the block to that. Because even though it wasn't like fully on or whatever it was kind of just in there. Yeah. It was still my little crutch of as long as she's around, I don't have to trust myself. I can ask her, and because she, Burning Man alone scares me the most. It did. And that happened at the very beginning, and I got the opportunity to step in and trust myself. And all the fearful situations, being left alone in deep play at 4 a.m., on medicine, with like no one around. And okay, here I was there. Yes. And I found my way back home. And I learned, like, I anchored into this trust. And so when I got back, and she was in the same camp. This is how we met.
Okay. Okay.
But so we never saw each other at that Burning Man.
No.
Oh, stop
maybe,
it.
Maybe once or twice we like passed each other on bikes.
Yeah, I saw you on a bike once.
Yeah.
That's it.
But she was having it was her first burn, and she was having her own experience, and I was having my whatever grief / expansion experience.
Yes.
And I got back to Austin, and I was like, I looked back at 20 years, and I said, there's two things happening here. One is like this relationship pattern has repeated itself 5 times in 20 years.
Yes.
And there's 2 big things that I made up that I never had the time to grieve. And so, 3 things actually. One was my marriage, and I made up that because I was the one that left, I didn't have to grieve. I'm good.
Right.
Yeah, no, not the case.
Right.
And then my dad passed away in 2015.
Right.
And at the time, I was like too busy. Like I don't have time for this kind of thing.
North Carolina. Right?
He was in Asheville.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah, I was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, my sister passed away. And each time I was in like this survival mode kind of thing, scarcity survival mode of like, I don't have time to do this. Like I need to like build my business, and I need to do all these things. And it hurts to say that, but at the time, like I have to honor this was my experience. Yeah. And so I went back and I uprooted that entire relationship pattern of what it was I go in, I fall hard, I become avoidant, I do something to fuck it up, and she leaves, I leave, I beg, I come back with all this codependency. Yeah. And then so I go from avoidant to codependent, and then by that time the damage has been done and it peters itself out, usually in about a 3-year period. Right. And that was 5 times that had happened. And so I uprooted all of that avoidant attachment, that codependency, the grieving, and I did it all in like 3 months. Wow. Just like every day with myself, just like what's going on today.
Facing this,
facing the inner child, the grief, the loss of my father, like the whole thing. Just like let myself feel it all.
You got in your body.
Yeah, I did, and I was like, okay, I'm just like I am not here to host this experience any longer. Thank you. And then right at the end of November, so like 3 months later. This one's like, hey, you want to come over for dinner? And we just like as friends. No, she said, do you want to go to Kuya, to go to the hot cold?
Oh
therapy?
yeah.
So we just started like hanging out like once every 2 weeks or so, and then it was like once a week, and then it was like texting every day, and then before we know it, we're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, you spoke to it.
Yeah,
you did, because I feel like I put it in this like category of like, oh no, like he's a friend. But like you spoke to it because it just all it kept happening was getting pulled to each other, getting pulled to each other, getting pulled. Like every single time I was around his presence, it was like, my body was just like, I felt so good. Like it felt like home. It felt comforted. It felt just really open. So yeah, you spoke to it there, which was like, but I feel like there needs to be like, should I say the back end of mine? Because then it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when I met him on the second day coming to Austin, so that was because of the Burning Man camp. So the Burning Man camp that we were a part of is that most of the people are here in Austin.
Okay.
So when I was traveling, like I was traveling for like 3 years and I was in Mexico at the time. And I was like, this year I'm going to Burning Man. Like, show me. I don't know how, but just show me. And then then someone I knew somebody that was connected to this particular camp that Sam's in.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, yeah, why don't you come? I'll get you in, no problem. Everything's set up. Like everything was easy. I could just come in last minute. It was like maybe a week or two before.
Wow.
And they're like, oh yeah, and the camp is in Austin. So do you want to come to Austin first? Oh. And just a backstory of that, I have had synchronicities to Austin, Texas for like, I don't know, maybe like 2 years before that.
Wow.
Constantly.
Wow.
Like it was just like, I'm like, what is it with Austin, Texas? Like I'd been to Texas before, but I'm like, I'm not going to Austin, Texas.
You don't sound like you're Texas.
No. And I was like, I'm not going to go. Like, why? But it was just so clear. Like it got to the point where I went back to Australia to see my family.
Yeah.
And there was like a plate that was there that said Austin, Texas.
Stop it.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right, Spirit. Fine. Like there's just been so many synchronicities for 2 years.
Wow.
And then when I heard that the Burning Man camp was
From
Austin, Texas, I'm like, all right, I'm going there first. And the second day I got here, I met him at like a party.
Yeah,
the
like a
Burning
pre-party.
Man pre-party.
Yeah, for our camp.
That's how we met, like the very first encounter. Yeah.
I remember walking. It was at a lake house here, and I remember walking in the house and seeing her and being like, something in my like. Looking back, it's like, oh yeah, see, I recognize it now. But like, I want to walk in and be like, ooh, what's up with this one?
wow.
Yeah, I know
This was after your 3 months of deep dive.
No, this was like before it all started.
Yeah. So you weren't all the way in, but you still heard the flutter.
I was still kind of in on the old relationship.
Yeah, that's
at
what
this
I thought.
point.
Yeah. So you were.
But I met her and I was talking to her and I'm like, there's like, I feel something. Like this is like, there's something here.
Wow.
But I was like, oh, you know what? Like she's with this other guy kind of, and I'm with this other girl kind of, and it's like, oh, whatever.
Wow.
And then like so you look back and you're like, oh, that.
Yeah, when you look back in hindsight. But
I didn't think I was going to ask you this question, like destiny and predetermined. And how much do you believe, like you both, I don't know your whole relationship story, but I know a lot of yours. And like, and you're a never giver upper. Like you just keep doing the work for devotional love, I'll call it. Right? Aletheia or whatever, right?
Aletheia,
Like this, truth and love.
Truth.
So had you had similar carnage stories in marriages and men and all the things?
Yeah.
Had you had that same desire? No, I want it all.
100%. I think that is what has been the driving force. Like it's easy now for me to look back in hindsight to go, oh, here's my husband. The driving force was that I kept feeling this thing in my heart that was like, oh, like I would say I want soul love.
Yeah.
I'm here for soul love.
Yeah.
Like I used to say I don't want just human love. Nothing that's wrong with human love. It's just like I want soul love.
Yes.
Like I want deep connected.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was in my heart means it was existing.
Yeah.
So I always believed that it was there, so it's already existed. Like it's already there. So I was already connecting. What my belief is, I'm already connecting with Sam.
Right.
Like in that moment.
Right.
So previous to him, I had all these beautiful relationships. Yes. And I had relationships that took me into like a place where it was like, I thought we were like, you know, our soul was evolving because it was so challenging, you know, like I had to trudge through the mud and have these like, you know, divine mirror throw me all these things. And I'm like, it wasn't that. But what was kept going was I had this feeling inside of me that kept nudging at me saying soul love. And I kept feeling like it was like, I am very committed. Like in my relationships, when I'm committed, I'm in.
Yes.
And I kept feeling this nudge. It's like, it's not it. It's not it. And I could feel it all the time. And so that's the part. And it's not always easy because I was married before.
Yeah.
And to a beautiful man.
Yeah.
And I felt that feeling. And I'll remember that moment. And I was standing in my kitchen and I'm like, I know. Like I know that I need to say, like, I need to exit this.
Correct.
And that was the most challenging moment. And it's like those moments in order for me to, like, for my devotion
Yes.
to this feeling that I had
Yes.
inside.
Yes.
Like it's all those micro moments. And
Yes.
so yes, it was a journey to this moment here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, you're going to remember what you're going to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're reminding me of this moment. So I've been married twice.
Wow. Yeah.
And the first husband I met when I was a dancer and model in Tokyo. He was this like rich Wall Street guy with a really beautiful heart. But it was more sort of shallow. Like I was the rich girl on the arm and he was the, like, it was like my daddy wounds basically is what it was before I did any of this personal growth work. And I remember watching the movie Kama Sutra.
Oh, I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. It's
No.
beautiful.
Okay.
But the love and the connection and the devotion, the embodied devotion that was in that movie. And I just remember going, I don't have this. This isn't going to work. Nor does he have the interest in going there.
That's it.
And there I was, didn't have a green card, and I'm Canadian, right? So, and I'm like, but this, I can't do this. And I remember telling him, I'm not going on the next. I would always stay for the next vacation. Oh, I'm sure it's going to be okay. And I'm like, no, I'm not going on the next vacation. And so I stayed behind, and the very next day, my green card arrived.
I've got goosebumps. That is, ooh.
Like you were talking about synchronicities, right? Austin,
yes.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had to jump first.
Yes, that's it.
And then the
That's
net
it.
appears. And I said, I can't do this. This is not aligned with my soul. And then the green card came because I was ready to go back to Tokyo
Yes.
or back to Canada. And I was getting old to be I was a topless dancer in clubs and I had a good time. I was getting a little old for that. But I was like, I can make it work. Or go home and go back to university and admit failure to my parents and go back to, like, I didn't want to do either. But I was willing to do whatever it took because I knew I had to live truth. So
Wow. That is devotion to love and truth. Right there.
Yeah. So that's why the reflection I just wanted to tell
I
you.
love that. Thank you for sharing that, because that is like, those are the moments. And I love how you said the fact that you had to jump right first before that happened, because I do feel that's like an initiation.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's like like it's in those moments where you feel it and you're like, I know I need to make this choice for me.
Yeah.
And I don't have I didn't know he was going to come. I
course.
didn't really know.
No,
like
no.
there was a part, but jumping to that and going, oh, I still got to choose this. I got to still choose me. I got to still choose truth, love.
Yeah. I'd rather be alone in alignment than with someone in misalignment.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What were you going to say, love?
Yeah.
It all makes sense. Like meeting her, we said this from the beginning, like this makes it all make sense. Like all that learning and the bad relationships, the good relationships, the grief portal, all of it was like, oh, this is why.
Yeah.
You know, and just and the beauty of us meeting when we did is that we both came in so clean. Like we really didn't, like we talked about our shadows at the beginning. We had all the conversations right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like, none of it has space, none of it sticks to us, because we came in having cleansed ourselves of all, like I had done the inner child stuff and the framework I had and the grieving, all the things that were left undone, I was forced to do right before I met her. She did it about a year and a half before she met me in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
She went through the same like grief portal of just like every day crying, sitting with Hape, like doing whatever it was, just like compressed grief portal. And we just when we came together, it was like, oh, okay. And it was fast. Like society would say it was fast. You know, like when friends would even say that's fast, and we'd always like look at each other and check in, and be like, does it feel fast? Like it doesn't feel fast. Like it's just it feels slow. Actually, it feels like right on time and like centered and grounded the whole time.
Well, I'd love your insight into this as well. I think a lot of my growth opportunities were when the world was in 3D and we hadn't bifurcated into 3D, 5D yet. And I needed to work through my karma for me, for humanity, all these things. And then as I started to move more into 5D, into the present moment, where the past and present doesn't, past and future doesn't exist anymore, and it's just the present moment. Time doesn't make sense like it used to make sense.
It doesn't.
No.
And nothing's linear anymore. And like you can do a spiral in a very short period of time and have this quantum leap experience that if you're literally looking from the 3D, looks batshit crazy.
It does.
And that's an appropriate response.
Yes, absolutely.
But when there's a different vibration going on, when you've done enough embodiment to be here, which is to face the hell of hell of hell of hells, and I don't think we're done, but that's okay. Right, but that's one of, I think, the gifts.
Yes.
The payoff, if we can call it that. The spiritual payoff
Yeah.
Yeah.
is look at this.
Yeah.
Spiritual check.
Yeah.
It's totally,
Yeah.
totally it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's exactly it.
Oh.
Yeah. You just articulated that beautifully. It is exactly that, because it's tuning. I would say to Sam, like, really, if I'm really feeling into like stepping back, it's I was preparing for him my whole life.
Right.
So really, it was slow. Like, I was like,
A lot of years.
Nothing fast about 49 years. Yeah.
49 years, exactly, for your case.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Like, internally, I felt it to be very like grounded, and like, so if we wrote it down on a piece of paper and looking from the outside's perspective, it is crazy. Like, it is from like the society standards of like, what are you doing? And the questions will come. And like internally, it's just like slow, it's grounded, it's consistent. Like, it's like there wasn't anything but a yes in my body. You know, it just,
So good.
Yeah.
So when I was changing my outfit in between interviews, I overheard that you're going to be going to Australia.
Yes.
So take me up to when, so you was texting every day, now you're married, and now you're going to Australia. So like catch me up with how life is magically unfolding for your co-creation, and also the empowerment of each other's truths, all the things.
Go for it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, where to start? I mean,
From the everyday texting.
everyday texting.
Yeah, take
okay,
me
the
from
everyday
there.
texting was amazing.
Yes.
Because I tell you, Sam, the one thing that I felt, it was the consistency of it. And I felt like instantly like there was no games, you know, that's what's so beautiful. There's no games. It's mature. It's like, hey, like we were texting all the time. The energy was like, I felt completely met in that, you know, like it's so nice. It was so met. There wasn't like a moment for me to wonder, you know, is like, what is this? So it became more and more and more. And I do want to say, there's one thing I wanted to say, backtrack on what was it? It was about our coming together. Coming together. I think it was, I wanted to say too that there was a moment where I was going to go back to Vancouver. So when I finished Burning Man, I was going to go back to Vancouver because my stuff is in storage there. Okay. And I was like, I'll hop on the plane. My entire body closed down. Like it just like, I felt like I was going to throw up. Like I was like, and all the work that I've done to listen to my body, that was the moment. I feel like all the times of preparing and listening to my body, my intuition, and having more of an intimate relationship with myself was so that I could in those moments know that's it. I need to not go to like Vancouver. So I changed my flight to Austin, Texas, and that's what started it, because I was actually planned to leave after Burning Man. So he was, we had not met on the playa yet. So it was like, then like he went into a grief portal when he went back into Austin. And so
You still went to Austin.
But I went to Austin because I was like, ooh, my whole body is feeling sick. Well, I know what that means. Don't go to Vancouver.
Right.
So go to Austin, follow the thread, follow the pull. And it was Austin.
Yeah.
And then I changed my ticket two times down there. 2 times because I kept pushing it. And every time I went to go to like a few days before my flight, my body did the same thing. And I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, okay, I'm listening, spirit. What? Okay, I'll keep following. And then it wasn't until the last month that I had to legally go back to Vancouver that we connected. Yeah. So that's when the texting and
we had like 30 days of being actually together, and then she went to Canada for a month.
And then you went back for a month.
Yes. Yeah. So by that stage, then once we were texting, I feel like it was very quick. It was very much instant. Like we were laying on the couch one night and we were hugging, and I had this instant download. He's going to be your husband. And I'm like,
did you tell him?
No. I was like, he's going to think I'm crazy. Like,
told me the next
it
day.
wasn't much longer after that. But after 24 hours, exactly. The speed we're running at is 24 hours.
Yeah.
No, like I was like, wow. And it's like an instant hit. It wasn't something that I even had time to think about. It was like
a knowing.
It was a knowing.
Yeah.
Did you have it at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, I was as soon as I met her and things started to happen, I was like, because I had been posting on Instagram like these like little hits of like divine union and sacred union and conscious relationship, and I would always hashtag this or not at all, and I was like, I know it. I know this is what I want.
Yeah.
And then she showed up, and it was like every day was like, fuck, there it is. There it is.
Wow.
There it is. So like she showed up, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And she
I called this in.
I called this in, and then
Yeah.
she was having her like single of Austin experience, and I was just like, it's right here.
of it so adorably.
Yeah.
Really.
And I was just like, no, I know this is it. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Do your thing. I'll be here. Like,
That's so great.
and just like,
He's really good at that. Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
That's
babe.
so different than the you I met who was like seeking the approval.
Yeah.
You were not this.
no, yeah.
Just as a loving reflection.
Thank you.
That
Yeah,
the evolution I see in
love.
you.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, I received.
I'm your big sister. I can say
Yeah,
that.
no, absolutely.
I love hearing that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I met him at that time, that is something I would say that Sam is phenomenal. And in our relationship, like now into our marriage, is that there's this like steady tree, like steady like oak tree that's there. And I know he watches and sees things in me, and he gives me this space to just go and do what I need to discover within myself. And he's watching it. And now I know I'm like, you see it. I know you see it right now. And he just gives me this beautiful like freedom of expression, but that at the same time, he's there. He's not going anywhere. So if there's things coming up within myself of like whatever it might be, like with the immigration process and everything, there's been so much surfacing within my body of like sense of not belonging and all of that. Sam has just been like an anchor the whole time, and at the same time holding me. I know he's there, but he's also like allowing me to like find and discover it within myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to add a piece because yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like there was that in you when I first met you, but there was, maybe we'll call it the wound in front of it or the shadow in front of it. So that was always there, but this needed to be like integrated or something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was just that, like, it was all I cared. Like, no, all that I cared about is not the right way to say it, but I had just been so programmed.
Correct.
That all I just protect at all costs.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like, create a business around it, create relationships around it.
Yeah.
And then, behind that is like this shadowy, if one little thing goes wrong, I crumble.
Yeah,
It crumbles, I crumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The work I've been doing since we first met, I've been adding, because you do psychedelic medicine.
Yeah.
I've been trained and I did several of these, I call them PSI, psychedelic somatic integration work. The work I've done going out to tier 3, maybe 25 years ago starting, was just so confirming that the soul, I know what I know. I'm one with all. I got
Yeah.
this. Why the fuck can't I get a relationship to work? It couldn't go back in. Couldn't bring what I knew in my body.
Yeah.
Couldn't bring it in. And so what I discovered when I used this particular use of medicine was, because there's all this subconscious wounding upon my identity has been created. Right?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm sensing in you and feeling. Because as my wounds got integrated that I never knew were there, that I was 3 steps ahead of in my hypervigilance, creating businesses and creating relationships and creating anything and saving everybody.
So accurate.
Right? So when the wounds, there was nothing for the wounds or the identity to be on, it began to dissolve. Just like you were saying, like, now nothing makes sense. My business doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense.
Yep.
So I really appreciate that, because that's a very destabilizing time for people who might be, watching or listening, that when we start to do this deep work, it's not just like, and then you meet the one. No. There's a dark night of the soul.
Yes.
And the beauty, my experience, and I'd love to hear yours, is there's an embodiment now. Like I thought the heart was the end game.
Yeah.
And my heart was open all the time. To a fault, loyal to a fault, all kind of things. It was also keeping me safe because I could be aware of a lot of stuff, but it was also wounded. But now it's like not the end game. Now there's like deeper, the soul in my hips, this whole other multidimensionality that then goes through my heart. I'm able to speak in ways or know I'd be speaking to a wall if I said something right now. Just let it go. Like, this has so much more knowing.
Yeah.
And then all the way up to this incredible connection with these multidimensional abilities that I never had in my life before. It's just like a whole new game.
Yep.
It's a whole new game, like all the way up, all the way down in a way. And I know I'm still a work in progress, but in a way I've never experienced before that feels so like you guys. I feel like I have this, but I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody.
Yes,
But he's in there.
That's it. That's it.
She spent 1.5 years in that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting emotional because that's it. Like, I remember watching prior to Sam, the feeling that you're saying, exactly what you're saying is what I said to another couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like this full circle moment.
Wow.
And I remember feeling that, and I'm like, I know I don't have him physically beside me right now.
Yes.
But I feel him,
Totally.
and it's already there, and it's, and I just, I will continue walking the walk
Yes.
and doing my life, and it will happen when it happens.
Right.
Like I let go of when, but I
Yes.
know it's going to.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's
yes,
And I
I
think
feel that in you. Wow.
What she talks about and what I love so much is that, like, the nervous system is already getting ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're speaking to yourself the way he would speak to you, or the
Yes.
way you would behave in a relationship. Like it's like you're there. It's just she was there. It's just here it is.
Yeah.
And it's just it's such a beautiful practice. So it's a somatic practice
Yeah.
of like nervous system
Yeah.
capacity and doing the nervous system work.
I would literally do it in my self-pleasure practice. Like that would be like, it was like, how do I would feel his energy and I'd be like, how do I want to be touched? How do I want to be like, what feels? And I would literally feel his energy with me in self-pleasure practice.
Wow.
To the point where I'm like, I could literally like, I could just feel like him entering me.
Yeah.
And so when it actually happened in physical form, I remember going, oh my goodness, this is it. This is the moment.
Wow, it was so aligned.
It was so aligned. So it's like,
Well, I've
it's
been-
like,
I was going to say, I've been like pleasure practicing with Jesus recently.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's Jesus that's your partner.
Well, I don't know. I've heard a lot of aliens are on their way. Maybe it's I don't know.
I'm sure I've heard that too.
But there was something about my dark Jesus.
Ooh.
Like I just needed to, like the light and the dark of me and the light and the dark
Yeah.
of him. Like
Yes.
was very that's my latest
Yeah.
Love that.
embodiment practice.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because anything where I would not, I would be ashamed to look. I'm like, I'm over that. I choose to get over that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
And
Yes.
so I remember
That's
the first
good.
thing. So normally I just pray to Jesus, can you please like pay the bills? Can you please like
Now I make love to Jesus.
support all my clients
Yeah.
and bless my colleagues and thank you for my mentors. And like, could you fuck me? I feel so naughty right now, but like I have all these conversations with, and I've never had a relationship with Jesus ever.
Yeah.
I'm not like a religious girl. I'm a more spiritual girl. But
Yeah,
there's
but
something
it's like-
about this, that Christos energy. that
Yeah. The Christ consciousness. Yeah.
And that,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
too much
Ooh.
information maybe.
No.
not-
I was thinking to myself
No
as
way.
I started saying it, I'm like, is this okay to continue going? But that's the feeling of fully like and being with it and knowing it's already existing.
Yeah.
Like and trusting and trusting myself that I knew that to be true.
Yeah.
You know, as like it's like as you get older as well. I'm 42, so it's like you start to have that. I mean, it's just a very light, conversation that happens, but it's there. Like from I love my parents, but hey, what are you doing? Like you're 42, like. But it's this deep trust of like I know that I'm like you just said. I would rather be single and with myself than in a relationship where I'm settling or I'm miserable or I don't feel open and expansive and
Yeah. Oh, I so hear you.
yeah.
Yeah. So a little youngin, 42. So I'm 55.
Wow, you
Yeah.
look incredible.
She can come back on the podcast.
You know, I'm serious. I'm not even saying it to be nice. Like you look really good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
truly.
Thank you.
Like and your vibrancy. Like you physically and internally, you're vibrant.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
It is
live.
the most amazing time. Like I haven't had a cycle in a year and a half, and I embrace this crone state.
Oh, love it.
And I remember last time I was speaking with at John Weiland's workshop, he's like, "Oh, you don't need to use that word." I'm like, I think that's more his issue than my issue because I love the word. I'm like, I'm embracing my crone.
Yeah.
And then Kendra said to listen to a lot of the Dangerous Old Woman, Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, this whole series, and I listened to one of 5 of her pieces.
Yeah.
And it's like The Late Bloomer, The Dangerous Old Woman, Joyous Body. And I'm just like loving being this older woman who doesn't need to worry about getting pregnant. Like I don't give a fuck anymore.
true.
It's really a freeing.
Oh, I love the way
That's
you
amazing,
see it too. Yeah.
I feel sexier than I ever
yeah.
have. And I mean, I was a model before. My body does not look like that at all. But I feel so much freer than I ever have.
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
emotional healing.
Right?
That's it.
That's because like this work we do is the true anti-aging drug.
yeah.
Like nothing else is it.
You're 75, right? No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah.
I'll be 76 next year.
Yeah, exactly right.
No,
But it's so true. Like I just turned 50, and it's like
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of like I don't know what I thought 50 was going to be like,
Yeah.
but this was definitely not it.
Yeah.
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 And like I had this idea made up that like it's gonna be like a walker, and, like I don't even know, but it wasn't this. And so I think, and everyone's like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, honestly, trauma
Do the
healing.
work.
Trauma
I do the
healing.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's emotional healing.
It's so true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the radiance can come
It's
through.
the radiance. I see a radiance. Yeah. That's what it is.
Being emptied out of all this gunk in there, I
Yeah.
really feel like this, my soul or divine light or both can literally come inside and almost feel like these like switches are starting to turn on the inside.
Yeah.
It's like all this stuff is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really understand what's happening, except there's more crazy ass superpowers
Yeah.
and light. And I'm so humbled to
That's
receive it.
yeah.
So humbled.
It's like the moment that like the vitality and the wisdom meet, because you have the vitality but you don't have the wisdom.
Right.
The wisdom and the vitality, like in this period, feel
Yeah.
like they're like meet. And it's the elder, it's the crone, it's the
Yeah.
it's the chief. It's like whatever archetype you want to place on it.
Yeah.
It's this beautiful intersection of the youth and the wisdom,
Yeah.
and it's so powerful.
Oh, I just feel like I'm getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
that.
Really,
feeling a
like,
lot.
give me another 50.
I
Another 55. I'll do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you, I don't remember, you don't have kids.
No. Oh, I was going to say one thing that was that was coming to me as you two were talking.
Yes.
Tomorrow
Yes.
is day 1 of 365 straight days that we've spent together. And not
year
just like
anniversary.
wake up and go to bed together. Like
Yeah.
we work in the same house. Like
Yes.
we're together all the time, and it's 365 straight days tomorrow, and it's like,
Honored.
Yeah.
and like we have trouble separating from each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
like, I have to-
So we've been together longer than a year, but it was
Yeah.
when I got
She-
back.
she got back from
Canada.
yeah, she got back
Yes.
from Canada.
Yeah,
On tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so we've been kind of joking
Yeah.
about it, like, wow, like
We're like, whoa, every
to and we've
day.
we've been to 22 states in a car, like
Yeah.
driving,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, we
all
talked
these
about that.
amazing things. It's really wild
Yeah.
to think like, and the thought of like, I'm sick of you is,
Yeah.
it's the opposite. Every day grows better and better.
Wow. What do you make of this? I remember, I don't know if you heard of Dr. Barbara Marks Hubbard. She was in her, I think, 90s when she passed. And I remember I'd seen her at different parties in LA, but everyone was always surrounding her, so I just let her be. This is all the way back to Buckminster Fuller, like Bucky Fuller, like that was her realm. And I had this hit. My girlfriend had her on a radio show, and I was like, oh, I want to call in. I don't normally do that. Turns out she died like a week later.
Okay.
And I said, Barbara, I can have oneness with the divine.
Yeah.
And I can have oneness with myself.
Yeah.
But shit, if I can make a relationship work, like what? What's up? And she's like, I think you're stuck in what we call soulmate. Like you're beyond role mate. Like you did that with your first marriage. You married for money. He married for the candy on the arm, whatever it was,
Yeah.
whatever label we want to put on it. And then you've had the maybe the soulmate where you had your son, but it was trauma met trauma. You got like a lot of work there. She goes, but there's this other kind of relationship that she believes Homo sapiens are moving into Homo Amor. Her and Dr. Mark Gaffney created this role mate, soulmate, whole mate, where you're not perfect. We're never perfect. We're always evolving. But two whole souls come together. Two soulmates come together to complete each other. Transactional. You complete me. You save me. Don't
Yeah.
you change. Don't you go
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
the source of my happiness. All that.
Yeah.
But two whole mates, we have our internal masculine and feminines inside of us.
Yes.
And we're whole.
Yeah.
But then we do this thing that's not transactional. It's a figure eight.
Oh.
And you begin to
Love that.
awaken each other, and it's not for each other. You can't get enough of it. It's actually for humanity. So you're together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's it.
I think this is what's happening.
That's it. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah, that is
We're
absolutely
figurating
it.
over here.
Yeah. You're
Yes,
yeah.
that's it.
Tell me,
That's it.
you're more by being together.
Yeah.
365 days.
I feel like I have absolutely more. Like I feel like the one thing is that I feel fully expressed, fully in my wholeness with him.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the thing is like I remember thinking someone said once, oh, you know, you could be best friends with your partner and be always with them. And I'm like, oh, I literally used to go, oh no, you need your own time. Like you need time for yourself, which is important as well. It's like you need time for yourself. You need to be, I was thinking that's horrible to be with someone. If you told me, Michelle, you're going to be in a relationship with, and you're going to be with someone every single day for a year, like work with them, be in the same house.
kill them.
I'm literally feeling a sense of trappedness happening in my body. Like, I would be like, no way. And with Sam, of course.
Yeah.
Like, of course, because I feel fully expressed.
Yeah.
I feel fully accepted and celebrated in all my versions, everything of who I am. I feel like, well, I hope I do the same to you. I can't speak for you.
No, like it's not even fully expressed. It's beyond that. Like, yes, fully expressed. Like, there's things like, I'll just use sports. I'm a huge sports fan, huge football fan.
Okay.
And like, it has literally caused problems in every relationship that I've been in prior to her. And she's like, no. Like, you have that. Like, you express there. And it's like, all of me is allowed.
Yeah.
But like, what's beyond that is that she calls me into something else. Like, there's like I'm like, that really? That's okay? And like, okay. And it's like this expansion.
more
this,
can come through?
like breathing, and like it's like like my lungs have expanded, my heart's expanded. So it's beyond just expression. Like, expression, yes, is there, but there's something else there that like allows for. There's like room beyond the expression
Yes.
to explore.
Oh, I love that.
Dr. Gaffney and Barbara Marx Hubbard, they would say one awakens dormant evolutionary qualities in the other, which then that more full self-expression then awakens the other's dormant evolutionary qualities. And it does this more for self, for each other, and for humanity.
Yes.
Gosh, Mark F.
that
is
is
awesome.
That's beautiful.
Because you've created this thing together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're, the more is being gifted to the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think one of the most beautiful things about us is that in order to like maintain that and to create the space for that, is that we let nothing stick to us. And like a lot of times, like you'll hear people, like Preston talks about this a lot, but like kids will like, his kids teach him so much because they don't let things stick. Like there's a toy and they want it, but like they can't have it. They throw a tantrum, and like 30 seconds later, they're like, oh, a cookie. Like we have this like beautiful cadence that we've developed where like, if it comes up, like it immediately comes. Like, so there's space built into our relationship and our days and everything for if something comes up, it gets expressed immediately and talked about, and it creates so much extra bandwidth because we don't have things that are like, I'm not walking around like oh, should have said that. Nothing's there, and it's just it creates so much space for us to laugh and play and relax and be expressed.
Yeah.
I'm mild, like, not like clitorally orgasmic, but like my whole body is like, that sounds so good.
It's so good.
The last time I think we talked, I think it was near the demise of, maybe right before burning or right after burning. And I had given that relationship a go in Charleston. And it was the antithesis of what you just said. But it was such a good lesson for me because he could own nothing. Couldn't even look at him wrong without like nothing. Instant justification. Like I was there to trigger his mother wound. And to resolve that, of which he chose not to. But what was beautiful for me, and when I knew it was over, is there was something that went down, and I couldn't believe he did that. Like, he sold my Christmas present. I didn't even remember he got it for me as a Christmas present. Like lack of presents or whatever. It hurt so bad. But the normal MO would be, how could you? Why did you? And then he'd get defensive. We're not going to get anywhere that way. Or, can't talk to him. He can't have a communicate. Out the door. I'm going for a walk on the beach. He stormed out of the house. Like, that was like back and forth. Because that was my daddy wound. My dad couldn't own it. So here I was, still in my 50s. And I still, just like that pattern is not going to continue, like you said. I sat in front of him and I processed right in front of him.
Wow.
I said, like, devastation.
Yes.
I breathed, devastation. And rage. And then I feel so unimportant. I feel so not valued. And then I practiced process. And then I got to this quiet place. I'm like, you just forgot. I forgive you. And he had this stunned look on his face because he didn't get judged. And I didn't leave. He watched the pain he caused. And the forgiveness that he received. And at that moment, like, I stayed a little longer, moved out, all the different things happened. But that was the moment where that wound finally integrated. Where I no longer needed a man to own anything to be whole. My whole life since a kid waited for dad to own what happened to be whole. And it collapsed in that moment. And that's when this masculine inside me has been here ever since. I don't need that because I'm whole.
You held yourself through that.
Wow. And it's been like that now for, I don't know, a yearish or something.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It anchored, immediately anchored in.
Just, I needed that next lesson.
Yes. Yes.
So any of the listeners or viewers, when
Yeah.
yet another relationship, no, do the work.
Yeah.
It's never a waste, and it's
Yeah.
gets you one step closer.
That is it.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
never a waste. I
No.
love that you say that. All previous relationships before Sam were in beautiful preparation
Totally.
to who I am today for him to receive this person.
Right.
Like for me to be able to open my heart and what you say about the sports, and even when we have our disagreements, like the beautiful thing is, I think when you were talking about that, like it feels like we have this like union, this entity, right?
Yeah,
we have our separate sovereign beings, and
Yeah.
then we have this union together.
Yeah.
In our union together, when we have disagreements, we do that. Like we sit there, like I'll express
Yes.
like what's coming up and what's really hurting me,
Without
and
projection.
without throwing it at him.
Yeah.
And we don't look at it as we're actually him against me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's us against the problem.
Yes.
So like what is actually happening?
Yes.
And I just have to remember that my little girl, I just think we have a really good way of holding each other's little boy and girl as well.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what helps transmute the trauma and anything that's happening, as you've got this solid union that's like holding and creating a safe space
Yeah.
for me to be able to say to him, I am hurting, this is coming up for me.
Yeah.
You know, so that it can move through.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's what we do a really good job of, because I do believe that we're going to have arguments. Like
Sure.
we're going to have them. And I feel like that's the big part, is we're not here to attack each other.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how can we go together at the problem?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure I was the manifestation of his mother. What I would react when he would do things.
Yeah.
Like he was just replaying that out. And it hurt so bad. But
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I can be bigger than this.
You
I
were
can-
so much
I
bigger.
can
That's
sit in
amazing.
this. It
Yeah.
took me a few months till I could get the hang of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one thing to do with your medicine journey or your counselor,
Right.
right? But it's another thing in the
Yeah.
real moment for it to occur.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like excited but nervous about this next 5 days. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was another thing for me to now take it to community
Mm.
and show
Yeah.
this next level of wobbly and work through the next thresholds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I still be here and express? Can I
Yeah.
still not run out of the room?
I really honor you for like not only like doing that with him, but like seeing in real time, like this is the moment.
Yes.
Like, and whether you consciously knew it or not, you're like your soul is like, this is the moment where we're not doing this anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is my line in the sand,
Yeah.
and like you just lean in and you let it like devastation. I feel forgotten. Like letting yourself do that in real time
Yeah.
is such a beautiful process, and so I just deeply honor you for doing that.
It really was an outside of time moment where this was an opportunity. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I loved him and truly forgave him. And I don't want a partner that does that to me.
Yeah.
That doesn't care
Yeah.
about
No.
things like that. I
Yeah.
was very, very different experience.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, "Nah, leave you and off I see.
Yeah.
It was such an empowered way of
Yes.
leaving.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
one of the greatest realizations in endings is, and this is what I got to with my last relationship, was it was a turning point.
Yeah.
Years ago, I remember I got to one where like, oh, I'm grateful for the ending because
Sure.
I started to like get to a point where like, oh, I got the lessons from it.
Yeah.
This one was a recognition of like, oh, we came as far as we could together.
Yeah.
Like we brought each other, we ushered each other through this 2-year period, whatever it was of our lives. And where I'm going, you can't go with me. And where you're going, I can't go with you.
That's so true.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like I'm clear about that because I Spirit's driven me over here and you're just not allowed.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I send you on your way with grace and love and all that. And like to get to that point of deep acceptance there
Yeah.
is such a healing moment.
Yeah. Thank you. And also, yes. And when I followed my body and my spirit to go,
Yeah.
okay, let's give this a go. Let's move
Yeah.
to Charleston and see where this would go. It didn't work out. But I met so many new amazing people.
Yeah.
So many new clients.
Yeah.
I'm living on the beach in South Carolina.
Yeah, Charleston's an amazing city.
I love my happy
Yeah,
lady.
yeah.
So spirit still knew what it was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will be the route through which you get this
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so again, just surrender with eyes wide open, putting one foot in front of the
Yes.
other.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
just keep trusting and going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay, we can talk for hours. And I'll come back and we will talk for more hours. What are you excited about with this Alethea that you're creating together? Or how can we begin to round this out with what's coming forth for people to play with you?
Yeah, one of the like our whole relationship, like the whole thing about not letting things stick and about full self-expression and about the exploration beyond the expression is that it's capital T truth. Like we are just here for truth no matter what.
Yeah.
And we were, I think it was on the way back from Burning Man or on the way to Burning Man. We were on a road trip and just brainstorming and doing things and letting things come through and channeling and all this. And she's Greek heritage. And so we were like, what's a Greek word that we could use to like just as like an expression of us that we get to bring to the world. And it was Aletheia came through. And then, so our first thing that we did was a breath and sound journey on the playa, entitled it Aletheia Breath and Sound.
A year after the one we did,
original
the one original one we did not see each other.
Yeah, so we went
year
back.
later.
Yeah, we both had like a little reclamation project with the playa, and we brought this Aletheia back to the playa, and then from there, it's kind of an umbrella that has relationship coaching, the psychedelic stuff, and we've actually we do psychedelics for individuals,
Right.
but we've actually just created this like kind of couples intimacy program based around using Bufo psychedelics. And so like it's intimacy practices surrounded by a Bufo ceremony with intimacy practices built into that.
Wow.
And so this is all, and it's all with the intention of seeking the deepest truth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yum, yum.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And where do people go? How do they find it?
The best place right now is Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So the Aletheia page is We Are Aletheia. My page is at Sam Gibbs Morris.
Right.
And yours is?
At Michelle Hiratos.
Okay, awesome. Beautiful. We'll put all this in
Yeah,
the show
thank
notes.
you so much.
Okay, wait. So Greek,
Yes, Greek.
Australia,
Yes.
Canada.
Yes, I know I got a lot going on.
Austin.
Now Austin, Texas. now United States of America. Like, it's like I said to Sam, this will be the last place. Like, but then again, I always get humbled. I love when you mention that as you get older. It's like this beautiful humbling.
Oh, I get more and more humbled.
You get more, and I think I'm getting addicted to that. Even though in the moment sometimes I'm like, ugh, but like I'm humbled because I was like, when I immigrated to Canada, I was like, this is the last place. I'm not doing this again. And then I meet an American. So I'm not saying the word never again.
Maybe mine will come on a spaceship. I don't need to go through all the stupid paperwork.
Oh yeah, maybe like
because I'm still Canadian and all the things. Yeah.
Who knows,
My
right?
green card got lost in space somewhere, so I have like a little stamp that says they're trying to get it to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I totally get it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know where I was going with that one, but yeah, like
Good. You guys have
Yeah.
beautiful offering.
yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for having us.
I'm just blown away to be sitting here with you in person. It's so amazing. So deeply honored to witness you and the work you do in the world. It's so needed. And you have not only been a big sister, but an inspiration and a silent mentor to me. Thank you so much for your support over the years, and just so deeply honored to be able to sit here with you and with her and do this.
Oh, I feel so seen. Appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And thank you both for reminding me that keep the faith.
Yeah.
Keep showing up.
Yeah.
Keep making love to Jesus.
Keep doing it. Yeah. Getting nice and juicy with Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also really beautiful to witness you both too. Like, I know when you said that this is the first time you're meeting in person, like physically.
Yeah.
And also thank you for inviting me on. Thank you for making it such an easy way to pop my cherry with the podcast. Yes, truly. And honoring you in like what you said with the everything about you in that moment with your former partner. I think it takes a lot. I think that's really choosing love and really opening your heart when you actually chose yourself and then looked at him and go, I forgive you. That is like, whew. Yeah. It's easy to say to choose love in easy moments.
Yeah, but what that actually looks like in the moment is excruciating.
It's,
And it's transformative. And he's responsible for helping me heal my wound that I've been working this whole life or lifetimes.
Yes.
I don't require anyone to be anything different
Yeah.
That's amazing.
for me to be whole.
Yes.
Yes.
I lose my way sometimes, but in general, It's a beautiful gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then now we're going to go do the après show.
I love it.
Patreon.
Like après ski.
Yeah. So before we go there, we invite you to meet us over on Patreon because some naughty and delicious things shall occur.
Ooh.
But I'm sure that many naughty and delicious things in this conversation probably woke you up. Whatever it was, whether you're enlivened, whether it's touching something where you need a good cry, just at least give us 60 seconds after you say, you turn this off. Go into nature if possible and listen. And then take an action. Clearly follow them on Instagram and see what they're up to so that they're in your life for sure. But there's something in there enabling to make a call, to let something go, to step into something, just to be silent, whatever it is. Please take that sacred action that this conversation has inspired and know that we love you with all our heart. So until next time on Intimate Conversations, all my love.
See you next week on Intimate Conversations. Get out there and make love to life.
So at the filming of this video, it's a 5-week countdown till I go to Spain, and I'm going to take flamenco lessons for a week, where flamenco was born in Seville. For the life of me, I cannot figure out the damn rhythms. So I'm having dinner with my new friend in the complex, and he's like, oh, no, there's a lot of flamenco in Santa Fe. There's schools, like academies and stuff, and I'm like, wonderful, I gotta practice. So that at least I can keep up with the damn rhythm when I get there. I got the shoes, still got to get the outfit. It's all fine. So, and as I was having dinner with this new friend, he likes to dance, like partner dance. I've never partner danced. I've only ever done like alone dance, whatever that's called, solo dance. But he's like, do you know how to do the West Coast swing? I go, I don't even know the difference between West Coast and East Coast. No, but I'm a quick study. So maybe I'm gonna have a new dance friend. Oh my God. So that's pretty exciting. And wasn't it amazing on this podcast how Sam and Michelle shared, or or was it not until Patreon that we shared about the dancing thing? Maybe it wasn't even until Patreon that we started to talk about it. Anyways, I give these people assignments now when I interview them on my podcast, as you know, that we're going to dance over on Patreon, and then I'm going to ask them some sexy questions. And they really appreciated. Hi, Muffin. She's exploring her new digs. They really appreciated that I gave them this assignment so that they could choose a song for their relationship. I cannot tell you. Even did you see the episode with Warren Farrell, Dr. Warren Farrell? Well, on Patreon, when it was time to dance, the song that he had chose, his wife was in the other room in the house. They both work from home, and we didn't tell her. And when it was time to do the after the show, he's like, "Hey, could you come on in, listen?" And they were dancing. It was too bad because they didn't like tip the camera up, so we didn't see their head. We just saw their bodies like dancing. But I was crying because he just invited her in to let her know how much he loved her and dance. And they've been together for like decades. So I think this is a foreshadowing for the amazing Sam and Michelle to be together for decades, and the power of dance, and the power of connection, and the power of slowing down to be present with yourself and with another, and what's possible when the two of you come together, like a third, 1 + 1 = infinity, like a whole other moment can arise when this figure eight happens between two people. So I'm going to practice flamenco. I'm going to say yes to going dancing with my new friend in the complex. And my landlady just came over to give me some extra pillows. And she's like, oh my God, there's music in the plaza every weekend. Okay, so this is good. This is what I've been avoiding for a while. All of my try a relationship, head to the hills and heal, try a relationship, head to the middle of nowhere and heal. I'm just gonna date. I'm not gonna get into a relationship, I'm just gonna date. I'm gonna dance. And I'm gonna allow the divine, as it brought together Sam and Michelle, bring me to my perfect person. And of course, that's this one. The love of my life is me, and who I'm going to share the love of my life with in terms of a man. All right, I'll see you over on Patreon. I'd like you to join right now if you haven't yet. Alana's Love Lab and Heart-Centered Foundations. Those are the 2 tiers. Alana's Love Lab is where you get our weekly truth transmissions. That's sort of like the new and improved weekly newsletter, plus a deep dive den, which is an extended form of coaching videos that I used to do on YouTube, which I don't do anymore, just the shorter ones. I have these longer form ones based on your questions in Alana's Love Lab. Yet the dancing and Ask Me Anything and the sensual liberation vault photos and videos of the past, me, my evolution in my sexuality, sensuality, and spirituality, and a bunch of other things, are over in Heart-Centered Foundations. And the people, all of my guests, the next level questions that they answer, and to watch their soul's expression through dance is over in Heart-Centered Foundations. So I invite you to join whatever tier feels right to you. And I invite you to join for the year. You get 2 months for free. Be with me. This is our newest place that we're going deeper, wider, grander, broader than we ever have before. All right. All my love.